You got Gen G on one side, looking to see if they could very well move forward in this competition, hold the fort for Pacific. Meanwhile, for G2 Esports, still looking for a trophy. And let's see what we got from the Agent Select here, Mimi.
I'm again looking at these rookie players from Gen G. Ash coming in just this season. Charon and Foxy, they've been at Globals before, but Foxy's still trying to prove himself, trying to win a trophy himself. This is going to be a really high-pressure moment for them all, but for G2 as well.
Yeah, double controller versus double controller. I'm looking at Charon. He's had very, very good individual moments, but of course, the most important part, Valin and Munchkin. We've heard the words from Valin, making sure that they knew the pressure was on Gen G. Well, they're about to come back from a very, very good map and a very good start of the series for G2.
All right, Toronto, we're going to a map 3. Let me hear you! Come on, let's send it over to your catchers. Make some noise as we get ready for map 3.
The energy is sky high right now here. It's map 3, this decider. G2 versus Gen G, elimination of course on the line. I'm telling you that story all day long. What we haven't been telling you though is G2 and their dreams being dashed away. Potentially here to look towards Icebox. Team that's been hunting for redemption, to be honest. Trying to battle back, I think. They've got their top dog spot regionally. Everybody knows this. But the one thing they haven't got is that trophy on the biggest stages of the game.
In Bangkok, denied by T1. Potential here to be denied again by another Pacific team. G2 have been in control of this match from the beginning, but now they're up against the ropes as well on Icebox. It's anybody's game.
Pressure just flips that easily. It's all it takes, and Gen G have been putting up the work and the mechanics.
You're expecting G2 to be playing a retake style here on Icebox on the pistol round because Jorgamo's wall is so powerful. Gen G, they're going to know that.
Full committal. Ash going for this one, the shock darts. Not doing much.
So it's about escorting Jorgamo in. He's the VIP. Get the wall down and apply pressure with the defuse.
Seen it. Paranoia is going to sweep forwards here, but a high ground angle is unaccounted for. And Texture trying to lock down and hold down that sightline angle as the dart towards the back and inside the smoke. Obfuscated enough to pick that player out of the picture. Charon is no more, but Texture next to step up, holding his ground down. Here's the jump down. There's G2 just trying to play these players in. Heavy-handed swings, Textures making the most of it. Jorgamo with the wall. There needs to be that follow-up up and over towards the top. No accounting for it. No half-earned time ticking away. Leaf is going to get a move on. And it's all Gen G. Another pistol round. Add it to the tally, add it to the spreadsheet. Call it whatever you want, but that is once more carrying forward that energy from that prior map.
And there were so many small things that had to work for Gen G to be able to win on Haven. And I think the pistol rounds are absolutely an enormous part of that, winning both pistols. And like you've been talking about the whole day, Brent, the fact that they've been doing it consistently all tournament long. Like 75% win rate on their pistols or something at this point. It's crazy, and we haven't really been seeing G2 force against it. They've been opting to play it pretty conservative today. And the most we saw was like Jorgamo picking up one stinger.
Yeah.
Here, pretty much full classics for G2.
Right here.
Allowing Gen G to build up the ult cycle.
It's so pivotal on a map like Icebox. Paranoia, hold on, that's missed a slight gap in the window. Dashing back though to safety.
Pretty nice movement from Texture.
Definitely his team having his back. He gets out of dodge.
That's going to start Foxy9 Munchkin moving forwards over towards A. You know that G2, roughly speaking, are going to be fighting over one area of the map and playing a retake on the other. This time, though, on the eco, they're trying to get into flood defend before Gen G are here.
Just popping out. Shoulder sticking out of the smoke. Shock dart. Hello, Foxy9. Down and out here. Ash going to go for an attempt to stick this. Reclaiming the gun too. Texture's going to be picking that one up. Well, he's swapping it around. We see it now, Dart lay it down, but players are starting to get themselves in. Classics in hand, and that's just it to work with, but G2 done more with less somehow. We see them now just trying to get a move on, fighting into this one, but entrenched positions into the 1v2 for Trent, and he's just left guessing where this play could be. Hold on, it's a 1v1, him versus Ash! Can't connect. Can't lock onto it.
And Ash, the rookie, the newbie, coming up massive for Gen G here on Icebox. These first 2 rounds delivering the critical kills. He's 1 away from getting a Hunter's Fury as well, which could be a decisive factor in a bonus round like this. G2, they made that one expensive. So Gen G are going to be coming in with mostly stingers. But if they can get Ash's ult online, there could be a chance here.
Looking towards Leaf. He always invests into the Outlaw when he's tracking their money. He's the one with the Outlaw, no sightlines, no easy kills, instead just a battle for the extremities.
You see there, Gen G's game plan of taking some A control behind that Viper wall. And G2 were spamming it, seeing if they could land some early damage. Foxy ducks, manages to make it through. That's the orb, that's the ult. So Ash, 5-0, has a very, very early Hunter's Fury to play around with. And if they are, G2, playing retake on A, that could potentially allow for a very effective post-plant setup.
Slow going for now, but you are right. There's that danger lurking right now for G2.
Double nanoswarms, double shock darts, Sova ultimate.
Trying to play retake into this would be
tough.
Pretty tough.
Not impossible, but difficult.
It's a paranoia. Different sections going to be dividing up towards the site. Now Hunter's Fury is going to be used just to get them in. It's 2 misses. Clearance into the corner on top of it. G just choosing to expend it. No plan down just yet, and watching for the peek up top. Munchkin's head rolls off the shoulders there.
Leaf fast on the flank. It would be only Texture capable of taking a shot.
The Stingers, Gen G, are forced to opt into the site. They have to hold this one. Close quarters is the combat. That's what's going to be suited towards them. Splitting up these players, though. Texture can't stand up against that much. Still the pressure's there with the Outlaw in hand. He's got it straight into the back of Ash. Charon, not long for the world, is he?
So very clean, and not really finding the value that they were looking for from that Hunter's Fury. I think Gen G got a bit scared there. They weren't really willing to take the risk on whether or not G2 were playing retake. And G2 threw out a little bit of utility early, some shock darts, a slow orb that made it feel like they might have been playing on site in anchoring positions. Munchkin, though, the deeper this goes through the attack half, will be one of those IGLs that's willing to call the contact plays if he figures out that Valen's playing really soft on one side of the site.
Alarm bot out.
Toxins going up.
2 Guardians, 3 Guardians actually, again for Gen G. So, bit of a wonky buy.
Slow up towards the top, breaking the drone. It's a wonky buy, isn't it?
The fact, though, that Munchkin broke the drone there's kind of scared off this push from G2. If it was only Foxy9 on his own, I think they might have tried to force the fight there, looking to just try to catch that solo player from Gen G, but he had backup. Gen G playing a spread default at the moment, but the Spike in a somewhat committed position on B.
Very slow game, contact, swing. Potentially if there was a player holding close. Texture just crossing out into the open. There's a re-swing from Charon, an attempt to punish as that spam was coming through from Jonah P.
He believed in the Viper wall.
Got to wait for the next timing on it. Got to wait for the fuel to get back up. Charon's going to be jumping the gun a little bit here.
Trent
has him through the back, paranoia.
Trent's got his ult to try to deny plant.
Jonah P is going to be giving them that space. Gen G absorbing most of it. Hunter's Fury to try and deny, but Texture is up towards the top there. In through the rafters and a kill found and claimed. Foxy9 takes care of his adversary. Leaf is gone. You get into that post plant successfully. Texture a little bit worse for the wear.
Foxy9, he was on the lurk. Valen's got to be worried about that, but he's now, Foxy9, connecting with the rest of his team to play these double nanoswarms onto the plant. And G2, I don't think they have a chance of being able to get back in on this. They're not even going for it.
Backing away.
They just want to keep their economy good. And I mean, to be honest, it's only Valen who wouldn't be able to buy if they went for this. I think the damage to Gen G's economy is more important.
Well.
But G2 choosing the conservative approach. And one could argue that that was the reason that they couldn't close out Haven. They were taking eco rounds after winning in one fateful example at the end there towards Haven. Another spot where I think I would argue G2 should be fighting it. Gen G get an opportunity to upgrade. They were bringing, what did I say, 3 Guardians into that round? And now they've managed to get up to 4 rifles.
A 3-1 lead.
It's a great start. And it's one of the only times where it feels like Gen G have got out to a good start. They won the pistol on Haven, but they couldn't manage much more in that first quarter.
Bit of spam with the stray bullets, not collecting a kill, but Texture's going to be battered because of it. Leaf trying to keep an eye on all the positions here. Again, you're going to see this game of timings occurring. Texture lying in wait, hoping that someone's going to go for the reclear.
And they are, but with the drone. So this drone can go down mid and then tuck back up under tube. Good break there from Munchkin. Keeps Texture, or at least the threat of Texture.
They played him in well. Getting the info though. Texture. Got anything to get the hell out of here? There's a lot of damage. There's those shockies.
Oh, that is so nice.
Putting in the work.
And now Gen G probably have to accelerate on A.
Contact for now though. Slow going.
Like I talked about, Munchkin is super happy calling for his team to contact in if he thinks he's got the read that the defenders are playing retake.
G2 just hovering nearby, lying in wait here. The plant's going to be going off. Munchkin gets this one down, so into the post plant we go. There's Gen G still with that player disadvantage. They're the ones who have to make the play. Valin, Paranoia, sweeps forwards, Nana swarms, delaying the push from coming through from G2, but did they expect this one? Valen's already in, and he might have just spotted it. I think Ping's yet. Spam up towards the top of it, in through 410, and Foxy9 is gone. Straight back to the dust here, Gengino! Answering back with a few of their own. Keron finally taken out, but backing away. Leaf earns up towards the ult, but he's got 2 players to deal with, and you do not want to expend it in this situation. He's got to try and lurk and find the positions, running side to side. He doesn't know where the last is. There's a wall. Isolates the fight, but is there time?
Not a chance. Really nicely played there from Gen G towards the end. Munchkin with a wide swing from 410. Forces Leaf to take the fight. Wastes a couple of bullets. But I think it's Karen who really deserves most of the credit for the victory here. It's a beautiful reclear of Texture. And they're winning this 4v5. But Karen with 2 kills from that top 410 position. Spots Valin, recon dart, lights up Jorgamo, and they're coming away with the victory. Gen G look completely in control here. You know, Lotus, G2 were easily the better team. On Haven, very even, incredibly even. G2 had their chances to win 2-0. It would be gutting for G2 to be the better team out of the first 2 maps and then throw it all away towards the end. They wanted to come in here today, and you heard it from Valin's mouth himself, they wanted to change the narrative. They wanted to put on a performance that would make the other teams scared to face them. And now, a little bit of doubt might start creeping in at the edges.
That's what the timeout is for here, to call Josh RT, give them a bit of a boost, maybe morale, maybe an idea, something to get some rounds in order, because Gen G, for now, only leading by 3, 4-1 being that total scoreline, but it can easily slip away from you. Easily. They know it. Gen G know it.
Both teams, both rosters have been in big game scenarios, at least the cores of these rosters.
And honestly, Josh, as well, what a difference exiting out here will make. When we talk about these big events, the international ones, we talk about teams, did they make top 4? Did they make it to the finals? You're not really thinking about 5 to 6.
No, not so much. Not so much. Especially teams that have G2's level of expectation.
Yeah.
Placing swarm grenade.
There'll be a blight on the record for G2 if they go out here. They've got to turn it around. The money's not good for now. Allows you to play a bit riskier. Taking liberties, potentially getting a kill or 2. Gen G are hyper-disciplined, though.
Pulled a little bit of Foxy9's attention towards mid, and I wondered whether Leaf was going to go for the peak, but it's just a shocking fight to take with a stinger from this range.
Truly.
And a lot of the impetus here might be on Jonah P, actually. He's the lone defender over on B.
Starburst on his face, and he's going to be stepping up to the challenge. Not postured away. Maintains his ground here. Gen G gonna have something to clear this one. Might just be waiting for the dart timing to come back up.
Toxins going up.
Wall to feign like they could be going over towards A, and there's that exploration, but Ash one step ahead. Smoke just barely blooming out towards the back there, claiming these kills, racking them up. The feed that is filled up with red.
Spike planted.
Gen G determined to put their stamp on this final map. It's a map that they've been excellent at historically. We've seen great moments from them. And right now they are dealing with this style from G2. Munchkin's finding the right reads at the right time to be able to get in. And also, Texture is online right from the beginning.
Yeah.
And that just hasn't really been the case in the previous two maps, especially on Lotus, where he was 2-10 or something to begin. Haven, it took him till the second half where he really accelerated and took off like a rocket. But here, he's 6-4 to begin, and he looks good, comfortable on the entries, taking these fights, stepping up aggressively to danger. G2's retake style is going to be helped by the fact that Leaf has earned the lockdown. He's had it in the last couple of rounds, but not found an opportunity to use it. This is a must-win for G2 here. They want to right the ship.
This was the one that the timeout was about, and you're right. Course correction needed. Beautiful beginning for Valin.
Well, that's a read.
Just a bit of spam, a few bullets, and suddenly Gen G are the ones on the back foot.
And now I think you can just stack A. There is no chance that Gen G are going to be ending B without the Viper Wall.
Trent, high and mighty, but he's going to be watched for that beautiful instant res online. Jorgamo brings Trent back into the fray. Paranoid over the good connection. That drone is going to be clearing quite a bit. Even a tag. Going to be not allowed to play inside that smoke. Drone for a drone. Getting the tags up. Spotting it into Nest. Trying to get the ping down and trying to get the spam down. G2 looking for a chance to try and flood in here, but it's a forward play by Gen G. They've got another plan of action. Lockdown's going to be dropped down. Hunter's Fury going to be used to try and take this one out. The forward position's trying to be played once more. Texture and Charon. Texture dealt with Charon over the top. Dealt with easily enough. Jorgamo now.
No more.
Put this wall up, sticking this defuse. He's got it to half, and he's brought his team that win con once more. Going for the face, going for the peak, and going for the jugular.
Gen G are hyper aware of the way that G2 want to play this one. Ash came in, got the plant, so he had the Hunter's Fury online. That neutralized Leaf's ultimate. And yet, at the end of the day, bodies ended up making the difference. A 5v4 and Jorg's 3K. Shutting down Karen in his top position. Karen has been the danger in these A post plants. He's playing either on top 410 or top A nest, and he's getting up and over that Sage wall. That's what G2 have to be worried about, but they managed to execute and get past him that time. Texture with knives. He's the threat here.
Pit and B main. It's a tricky one to bypass if you are Gen G. They get sight of it. They want nothing to do with it. Lombard on the other side, so Jonah P has a lot of peace of mind. No attempt to break it. Gen G maybe to take fights towards mid, though.
In this match, every time G2 win rounds, their economy is never flourishing.
No.
Gen G always keep it close. And so again, they're coming in with double Guardian and a Bulldog. Valin's trying to take an aggressive fight on A, but with a pretty bad weapon.
Yep. Trent was with him. He's hopped off of it now, potentially missed the timing onto this one. Reaching that minute mark, you've seen a drone for a drone. Just to clear out a bit through mid.
They've given Foxy9 enough space here to use lockdown. He can pop this down on pipes. Really no answer to this.
There it is. G2 forced to clear this one out. They can overstay for a tad. Jorgamo, he's even squaring up. It's a bit of a challenge, but you've got to respect it.
He looked like he was going to stay there.
Slow orb might be critical in that spot. Just out of dodge there from the vicinity, and here comes the flood attempt. G2 going for it. Straight in, the pit's going to be dropped down. Reactionary from Gen G, looking to try and survive him. With it all.
It's before the plant. They're running away to B.
They're running away, and Jonah B! He's pushed out. The initiative has been taken from himself, and the knives almost gone entirely. It's another kill there. Refreshal for 12 seconds. They handed the spike over, and Karen with a TP. The ult has saved them. At least the plan down for now.
Cover going out.
The Omen finding enormous value, but it's still player disadvantage for Gen G. G2 don't exactly know where everybody is, but Trent's in a really pushed up position. This smoke
It's
dangerous.
It does. Dangerous situation. A bit of spam from either side to heal. In the back pocket, G2 starting to get a run on, starting to get a move on. Going forwards now, knives out, Texture, they've all gonna miss, but the rifle still has his back up. The movement can't save him. G2! It's clinical.
What a scramble of a round, what a pivot having to be called there towards the end from Munchkin.
Unweave our world.
A miracle, really, that they got the plant down thanks to Karen's ultimate. But G2 changing things up in terms of how they were defending. Thanks to that Viper's Pit over towards B, they were able to actually kind of flood defend on A. And then, honestly, as soon as Munchkin used his pit before the plant had gone down, that A push was chalked.
Yeah.
And they were left without too many options. G2 with 2 in a row, both retakes.
Nice, Alex.
Starting to get back into this game. The lead cut down to 2.
Looking for a few more. Bit of spam from Trent, reveals his hand with that one, but this is a heavy emphasis. Look at this, G2 play stuck, and that's an off angle out into the open. Any trade inside to Paranoia, swinging, but Cloudburst at the feet, that's going to be some safety. Slow orb. Locking them all down. But critically, no trade from G2.
Jorgamo is 1 away from being able to get a res. But I don't think he's going to be able to get, you know, a kill and somehow recover Jonah P's body. It's really out there in no man's land. The Viper wall, by the way, committed super early on A, despite the fact that Gen G were defaulting heavier towards B. But they are regrouping to try to play off that wall. They don't want to just rely on Omen smokes on B.
It's tiny, tiny margins. Barely spotting it out, but sees the rotation now, and Leaf is hard committed. Hard committed indeed. Needs some value, needs some kills! Just the grills, getting in the way there, the bars and the jail. Trent is next, on the chopping block. Texture taking control and taking over. Karen by his side, make no mistake.
30 seconds left. Spike planted.
G might have lost the past few rounds. Jorgamo, though, still trying to get active, but Ash is instantaneous.
Individual moments there, losing the grip for G2, sorry. I think Leaf tucked up at jail. Should have at least been able to get one. Kind of beefed that position slightly. It's an unusual spot for him not to get value. Normally Leaf's good for those. Jorgamo, he's going to go for a glass cannon op-buy. Looking to throw caution to the wind. It is a weird one again for G2's economy.
Drone not broken. Jonah P was hoping to at least feign the intent that it could be holding close. Trent's going to be using one of his own just to clear this one all the way through. That's a heavy push-up. 2 plays through main. The operator in Jorgamo's hand to just watch belt, but all eyes over towards B. That's where the players are, and that's where Gen G looking to lay claim. So it's on smokes, but no committal.
Pressure here onto Foxy9.
Foxy9 is going to be caught. Squeezed, in fact. Too much to watch for, and yet still manages it. Gets the one.
Really solid awareness.
Even expecting the re-peek as well. He's holding his crosshair, not running away. He's waiting for the next. He knows that there was a deeper drone, and he knows that Trent was lurking. Jorgamo, Jonah P and Leaf gonna have to put this one together themselves. Just the 3 of them versus 5. And with the operator,
I think this is where you have to save.
it might be a save.
They're looking like they want to go for it.
Yeah, there's a wall up in front of their faces. Texture's already just absolutely decimating them, destroying them. His team by his side, relentless. There's no mercy at all. Gen G slowly accruing another one.
I mean, this is looking like a dominant half right now for Gen G, especially considering that G2's eco once more is cracked. They've got nothing to be able to work with, and it's Foxy9 who delivers them this one.
Yeah.
He's in quite an exposed position. He's trying to play it safe and cautious, using that cover. But his awareness ends up being his strongest tool there, because he turns around just to catch the timing onto Valen. Gen G could establish a very dominant first half here. And that's not something they've been able to manage on Lotus or Haven.
There's wind in their sails right now. 4-round lead. This could easily be a one-sided affair for the first half of Icebox. And our last map here in this elimination game.
Here.
Last chances for both of these teams.
It's got to be hard for G2 to put out of their heads the way in which they lost on Haven. So many small moments that added together when they could have potentially been able to convert that 2-0. Is it lingering in the back of the mind?
They might have been dreaming of redemption, but the win here gets you further and farther away. Still a while to go to get to the finals. They want a shot at the trophy for G2. Not even going to be thinking about that, most likely just focusing on this round, one step at a time. Snakebite, round towards the back. This is backup for Valid, trying to allow him to try and make a play. Dash over, Stinger in hand. But this is it. All collected with the kills over the shoulder. As soon as Texture goes down, you don't match for the rest of the weaponry.
And Ash has been such a pillar for Gen G. He's been delivering them incredibly important kills. And once more, is that rock that Gen G can rely on. 12 and 5, deals with the eco threat, gets the plant down.
One down.
And though Karen is dropped, it's still a massively uphill battle for G2 if they want to try to win a Thrifty.
It's Nano Swarms, they need kills, they need more than that. They need time. Running out forward, and Munchkin, ajar with the movement, snappy with the aim. They know exactly where Trent is now. Look at it, layers of util, added on top. Gen G are getting a vice grip on this series.
You can feel that belief emanating from the side of the stage that they're on. I mean, that is so nice there from Ash as spray control. But everything is working. Tex just picked up the op to use it on the attack side. G2 style, they just can't find their moments. They would need this final round.
Get out of my way.
And especially with how good Gen G have been on the pistol, this game is gonna be tough.
It's the last round.
You're expecting a slower one as well here, Brent. And Tex just taking his op for a walk, looking to see if he can find an opening pick. And it's Valen with a peek. Like a rocket ship comes around the corner and deletes Texture.
It's a massive one.
That is a shot.
Even spotting the cross. He's getting acknowledgement. Drone spots too. G2 have a very good idea of what's going on this round.
Yeah, player advantage. You've taken down the tip of the spear. I mean, Trent with an ultimate that can deny the plant as well. Things are looking all right for an 8-4 half, but that would still be Gen G massively in the lead.
Gen G not even done yet in this round. Not by a long shot. Hunter's Fury committed. That's meant to be a bit of a pun if they hit that drone coming through, and Trent, yeah, he's got that value. Here in a rumble though, potentially there, Valen might have just seen, and yes, finally gets that acknowledgement. Foxy9 was lurking his way through onto the A site. 3v5 spot, Gen G are in. Tight corner. G2 can make no mistake here. Footsteps rumbling, a noise bait by Leaf. He's trying to bait Munchkin out of hiding, but second guesses it back towards him. Munchkin, he's perfect with it. Jonah B's been gone, done. Taken out. That's going to be broken out. G2 trying to make this one move and flood straight into the back. They've dealt with most of the side players, and it does now finally leave it all down to Munchkin. Even that snake bite, no chance in hell. Rebounding of all sorts of geometry. That's a full stick. And so G2, a 4-round safety net.
Switching sides.
It's not a bad attempt from G2 towards the end to make this one possible, but so much hinges on them being able to pick up a pistol. Gen G have been winning them all. They've just been incredible in those spots.
They've been a statistical anomaly. It's looking like Gen G are just playing lights out. They've got that passion, they've got that fire. They believe that they can go even further, knocking out one of the tournament's favorites.
Save me from my silent hell, break me.
All right, Toronto, you know what time it is. It's time to get hyped up for your favorite teams. This is an elimination game, so both of the teams need your energy. So if you want G2 to win, let me hear you. Okay. And if you want G2, who's currently playing on America's soil, let me hear you. One more time, though. It doesn't seem like it's loud enough. If you want Gen G to win, make some noise! And the G2 fans in the house, let me hear you! The house is packed and the fans are split. It's time to conclude the finale of the series.
And all the pressure lies on the other side of the stage here. Valin, as an IGL, has got to carry the burden of bringing up the spirits, helping his team, and just believe that they can do this.
And G2, they are probably the best team that we've had overall in 2025, but they haven't won anything globally. They've been in a grand finals at Bangkok, denied by a Pacific team, T1, who ended up coming away with the trophy. Now, T1 nowhere to be seen here at Toronto. Instead, the Pacific region sending Gen G, sending Texture as their representative, and you can see in the Coinbase Econ report, Texture's having a great time of it right now. He came online very early and now gets to play the defense. But this could be an opportunity for Gen G to deny G2 and shift the narrative, or perhaps even keep the narrative, as Gen G being one of the scariest teams at this tournament. They had a wobbler against Wolves. It was a legendary match and a weird way for them to get knocked down to the lowers. A game to be remembered. But this one could be a game that G2 would love to forget. They came in with so much fire and it feels missing here on Icebox. They are going to need a pistol to get back into this, and Gen G have been essentially immaculate in that department.
Think of the pressure that is layered down onto G2. How much is round 13 is going to mean? You mentioned it, Josh. Gen G have been near immaculate with winning pistol round wins. It's going to be an uphill battle here for G2. They need a good idea, and already Gen G, you can see them cooking up something. Triple fakes, wide swing. In case there was a player there, they would have been deleted, but the turret will do for now. And now, quick run, wrap around all the way to A.
It's so predictable, though. Gen G are already ahead of it. They know exactly what Valen's going to call in this spot.
The body's in. The wall not going to be broken for now. Trent trying to go for that plan. Rebound. It's going to be catching onto Dice. No Dice for the damage, but it does enough to delay and potentially buying some time here. Trent, full sticks now with the plan. Gen G, armed and ready.
Yeah.
Primed to pounce. Already making their way in through, but again, this wall is tricky business. Paranoia, as soon as they hear the knives out, they know that they've gained access towards it, but there's nothing else. Yeah,
that is early.
Indeed, and Gen G, one of their own. Paranoia sweeping forwards, Dart lining them all up. Ash is finding so much value, Gen G! God damn, man, they can't be stopped! They've lit them all up, they've lit them all up indeed, and Trent is no match!
Foxy9 with a pop-off towards the end. The confidence flourishing now, and Gen G, they get another. Every pistol round, it feels, just going in their direction all tournament long. They've got a specialty, and it's one of the best things that you could be specialists in. Because most of the time, that's going to give you a free 2 wins to start a half. And G2, they have not been going for their classic Stinger force buy very often in this match. I think there have been 2, maybe even 3 occurrences where we thought we would see it, and we didn't. Now, though, look at what's happening. G2 are finally going to go for it, but only with 3 Stingers.
Yeah, we've seen this before. Jogamo puts his body on the line just in case there's that outlaw purchase. Gen G, again, similar game plan. Bit of exploration potentially towards mid. A smoke off onto the turret. Makes it feel like there could be lurks, but as players, bottom tube, Ash is going to be exploring, clearing up the question marks.
It's quite a nice timing, though, because Gen G, 3 defensive players are having to get pushed towards mid.
Drone.
And that creates a bit of an opening where only Munchkin is defending B.
Alone for now, but reinforcements have arrived. Gen G.
The read is just so good on the defense. I think Munchkin's calling a great game here.
Stacking with the bodies.
And Valin backs off. Calls for his team to regroup with Leaf on the other side. And still allows himself to be seen. So there's still that threat that G2 could be re-hitting B.
Breaks the drone too. Like you said, there's that threat. Lying in wait, there's bullets raining down, crossing up through mid. For G2, this is everything. For Gen G, could be the killing blow.
Bomb grenade out.
And now making signs of life and noise out towards it. The alarm bot's going to be triggered down in through the back.
Did Valen hear
30
these
seconds
rotates?
left.
Because he's making the perfect call.
He is.
He's telling G2 to come back over towards B.
25 seconds. Wall's going to go back up, and now it's a mad dash. Flurry of activity. Gen G getting bodies back over towards B, but they're a little bit late to the party. Trent entrenched here.
Planted.
Trying to avoid most of the fire, but Jogamo cannot. Straight through the smoke. That's Ash. And Leaf caught out wide. 3 to do it all from G2. Gen G, a methodical, dissecting this map, dissecting the site.
Do they clear Trent? He's about the only hope for G2.
Gonna be the problem player in a spot like this, and yes they do. The awareness is all there right now for Gen G, and where is the first push of Munchkin? Is just sticking this, drops down half, and everybody dies from G2. Gen G keep the ball rolling. They keep going.
And that is a fantastic beginning to the half. All of the
Spike
threat
back.
taken out of it. A 6-round lead, plus G2 knocked down onto an eco. Every player in every little tuck spot, every threat, every danger dealt with. Gen G utterly in control. As dominant in the opposite direction as Lotus was for G2.
Yeah.
It opened in favor of Americas, and it looks like it's closing in favor of Pacific.
We've seen comebacks before on Icebox, but they're rare. They're not often, and it takes truly exceptional stuff. Valen's gone. Was a TP forwards trying to go for some cheeky play. Split into B, potentially to take that timing. Full group up of G2. All into B main. Clearance now through yellow, but they're going to be stunted out here. Munchkin's Viper all propped up in their face. A smoke to replace it from Charon. They are choking G2 out here. Gen G just sucking the air out of the room.
And the play, it's pretty immaculate. They've just always got the right read on where G2 are going. Can G2 do anything to catch them off guard?
Deep fight, a snake bite already. It was primed, it was ready. Foxy9's gone, but up and over towards the top. Trent!
Spike down B.
It would have to be a masterclass, but he's only got a Sheriff and 3 bullets to do it. Does not know where the remaining players could be. Texture is lurking though, lying in wait! And perfect with the shot. 11 rounds for Gen G, 2 more needed.
A game between 2 titanic teams. Gen G, probably the best team in 2024, and G2 looked like they were aiming for the same accolade in 2025. But this is an earlier exit than I think anybody would have predicted for the Americas squad. Josh RT taking a desperate tactical timeout to try to right the ship. But this game is slipping way out of their grasp. They'd have to make up 7 rounds here before Gen G even win another 2.
It's already slipped.
Yeah, I mean, after losing the pistol in the follow-up, that's devastating.
The chances are just minute.
And Gen G, man, what an incredible demonstration of grit that they've shown today.
Yeah.
Because their start was so slow. They looked like they were out of it, maybe weren't fully mentally in the game, had put a bit too much expectation on their own shoulders, perhaps even.
We were thinking, have Wolves boomed them?
Yeah.
Have they taken them out of this fight already?
And
Set
yet,
down
by the
low.
time it got to the second half at Haven, a 7-5 half that didn't go their direction, and then they win the pistol and get back into things, grind it out. And they've been electric on map 3.
There's grit here with this Gen G squad. Grit, determination. They want to go deeper.
Here. Here.
They want a chance at earning another trophy for their cabinet. Start layered back, slow up on top of it. Gen G forced to respect it. All that just to insert Leaf into a 4 position.
And a big gamble coming out of the tactical timeout too. Gen G are super happy to go for those. Munchkin just with an outlaw, defending B essentially on his own. Reckons that he can get out of danger if he misses the shots.
Drone's going to be clearing it though. He takes care of it.
Oh, he's so confident.
Yeah, very confident. It's full armor and a multitude of players from G2, and they're going to be facing with the first one, but Valin was not so lucky!
That's amazing!
Munchkin! Trying to slam the nails into the coffin nice and early. It is answered back with Jorgamo. A tap.
Oh, and they're so tepid here,
Yeah.
G2. They think there's more players from Gen G ready to deny. Okay, going backwards, picking up the ult orb. If they can now get a plant for free, suddenly there's a res online. And Leaf, he might have an opportunity to backstab. But Foxy9's awareness has been unbelievable so far on this map.
Watching for it. Res is available. Bring one of your players back into the fray. Pick and choose. You choose Trent. He's been monstrous in the clutch. They need it now more than ever. Gen G are slowly getting a grip onto the site. Leaf is that backup policy, but this is explosive. Dash across and forwards as an operator in his bloody hands. Matters not. The weaponry. Give Texture a spoon. He's going to make you mince meat. Going to be denying this one, though. G2 getting onto the plant, wrapping around. And the situation is pressing right now for Kairon. Nana Swarm forced out into the open. Isolates the first kill. Shock darts, lay it down, and Trent saves the day.
Brought back from Death's Cold Embrace, and he's able to deliver the round for G2. What a lurk from Leaf as well. Somehow managed to evade all of the rest of the players, and they've recovered a 5v3 round. Yes, they got a res out in the middle of that, so it ended up being mostly a 4v5, but still, I mean, danger lurked around every corner, and G2 navigated it. And they are going to have to do that so many more times in a row, though. There's no real avenue for mistakes. It's got to be basically perfection from here if G2 want a run at this.
Has to be the first of many. Gen G, multiple chances for them.
And they're so good on eco rounds as well, Gen G. You know, put a sheriff in some of these guys' hands.
Texture with the knives just earned up. Munchkin, though, decapitated. Texture trying to get active, trying to get into the fight and the fray. Kairon by his side. Deep dart overhead.
And so, actually, quite a lot of threats already dealt with there. Texture run out of knives, Munchkin dealt with, and a pretty open A site. So, this round navigated pretty well for G2. But at some point, we've got to bring the discussion back to what we were talking about on Lotus. It's the ults for the team that's up massively in this spot. Think about the next time the rifles are going to be online.
Yeah.
You know, Foxy9's going to have a lockdown to be able to work with. The Viper's Pit, this defense is going to be reinforced by massive ultimates in round 18. And that's if G2 can navigate danger here, because there's still a bit of spice in the round.
And not out of it. Not just yet. Doubled up towards the back of the site. There's a fight to be occurring here, and that's it. Shots fired on either side. Texture is hard committed onto it. Just trying to drop and jump all the way straight up, trying to take this fight. It's a weird and wacky one indeed. Double face, double call. Trent delivers again. His team needed it most here, but that's time earned off, and there's no hope in hell for Texture. Maybe a gun reclaimed.
Damage to the economy, though, would still be really useful, right? I mean, I don't think he's really going to get an opportunity. He's on the exact opposite side of the map. But you think about one of the big talking points we've had throughout Haven and Icebox. It's that even when G2 win, they're winning by close margins that don't allow their economy to boom. This time, though, 4 players surviving, 3 rifles kept. And the economy should be in an all right state. It's the ults instead that I'm looking at. Because Munchkin with a Phantom and a Viper's Pit. And on the other side, Foxy9's lockdown. And no Sova ult from Trent. Not even close.
How do you break it?
So, you know, this one is going to be really tough. It should be Gen G, if they execute it well, getting up to match point.
Through mid, though, that's Texture with an off. He's going to be taking an early peek. Smoked off into his face. Ash earns up his own. Hunter's Fury.
Faking the double teleport play there, Valin. He teleports up and back, but he's making it feel like they've gone towards orange. Trying to pull eyes, trying to pull attention, hoping that he's freed up a little bit of B main.
Here.
The weight of the world is probably what's feeling like right now on G2. You got to just keep it together one round at a time, but the ults are such a problem.
I mean, having said that, though, Brent, Munchkin has not decided to use the Viper ult in this round. He's not even in a position, only just now, where he could use it off info, off noise on B.
The later you leave it, the more this lockdown's going to be a problem.
And the Sova ultimate.
Smokes up. Texture. Gives it up, but he hears it now. There's going to be util coming out. Drone. Paranoia. Lying in wait. Towards Belgium, a couple of jiggles, and they finally see it. They receive it. Hearing that operator, that's the acknowledgement they were looking for. Kara on TP. Gets the hell out of there. There's 35 seconds left. Where are you going, G2?
Ash, he rips the ultimate early. That could have been a death blow if he'd just been able to hold on to that and realize they were going B.
It does indeed, but Munchkin now could just be lying in wait. Back towards it. Dart not going to be dealt with. He's trying to find that timing. He does press himself forwards into a pit. At least, but he's gone. Down and out Texture. Trying to get instinctual as a dart. Okay, wall in his face and a dash backwards. Jonah P. At least finds Foxy 9. The spike is planted. Mad dash.
I mean, so far, this has been the biggest fumble with the ultimate so you could possibly ask for G2. It's actually allowed them an opportunity to right the ship and avoid the snowball.
Texture creeping. Leaf has his teammates back. He'll step no further. Gen.G still trying to make a go of things. But time has bled away from them here at G2. In the midst of all of that chaos, somehow persevere.
That is a miracle round for G2. Very little time on the clock. Still with a Sova ult and a Viper's Pit to navigate around, and a lockdown as well. Somehow, Gen.G kind of whip on the execution of everything. Ash thinks they're committing to A and rips the Sova ult early, instead of saving it for a spike tap.
One enemy remaining.
Munchkin is under enormous amounts of pressure and decides to go for a risky Viper's Pit, and he gets caught.
And I think the pressure, you're starting to see signs of it crumbling, perhaps. Gen.G immediately call a timeout. It's a panic button being hit. They have that ability. It's only the first timeout they've actually used because they have been in control, but that's signs that things are getting away from them.
Yeah, I think you can tell that just from the outside, even without listening to the comms, that things got rattled there for Gen.G. They lost in spectacular fashion against Wolves, up at the half, in complete control of the game. Somehow, Wolves made outrageous comebacks against them on map 1 and map 2 to knock Gen.G down to the lower bracket. Gen.G are in control here. It should be G2 going home. It's only a short trip for some of the guys, especially for Jonah P. But if they lose control of this map, it would be devastating for the Korean squad.
Be dire.
And now, you know, the ult snowball kind of flips the other way. Leaf one away, Trent starting to get up to it. Another res online for Jorgamo.
Here.
It feels possible now in a way that it shouldn't have been.
It's a balancing act between these two teams, and as you said, it feels possible. With those ults expended, G2 keep slow. Attempt to punish the peak if Munchkin wanted to go for it. Leaf might be getting pressed upon here, tested, asked to deliver. And he finds himself ahead. Karen popped like a balloon. Drone clearing a lot of the way, spam into the corner. Munchkin still slips his way through, but look at that util. Just paramount to try and push him out and away with a paranoia. Foxy 9 is available as a bit of backup, and he's out into the open. What a monstrous shot! With the jumping to set them up, but still G2 have the weaponry, they have the guns. Rifles in hand.
Player standing.
And it is cheeky plays on order. Leaf will take that timing happily. You can hear it. Scuffling of footsteps. And he knows exactly where he is.
That's really nice. Even maximizing the ultimates there. Throwing the spike over to Trent in the 4v1. Realizing that they've comfortably got the round and they can get closer to a Hunter's Fury. No disrespect to the Gen.G players, though. They can hit shots. That jumping shot onto Jonah P was nice.
Disgusting.
But they haven't been able to put it together all at the same time in an eco round. 4 in a row for G2, and they've cut the advantage down to just 3. Weapons back, though, including this operator. But G2 are not heading towards it.
Gen.G still have all the tools. Nanoswarm dealt with. Important one to break. Allows Karen to just stay perched up.
I mean, it looks to me like Karen wants to try to deny Leaf's ultimate. He's got this smoke here so that he can punish Leaf as he gets close.
Did he hear it? Not sure if it was a silent jump up or not, but a drone clearing forwards. Karen, another one, and he's missed the timing onto that one, just trying to back out. evacuate, exit. He's got coverage and he's got backup. A lockdown for a lockdown.
Can Valin throw a smoke to allow Jonah P to lurk up past this turret? He doesn't have one online just yet. But I could imagine that Jonah would be calling for it right now.
Sneaking and crawling. Gen.G trying to fill up that space towards A once more.
Oh, they're smoking off the alarm bot instead, making it feel like a threat underneath Tube, hoping that Jonah P can squeeze onto somebody.
Pressure onto the B players now. It's flipped. Munchkin and Texture.
But nobody B main for G2.
They've got to do it. Valin off from the side there.
Down B.
Kills exchange is traded out. Foxy9 in through mid, and again, this game of timings, it could happen to any possible player. Leaf wins his, Ash wins out. Jonah P is spotted though, out towards it, top towards Kitchen, and Ash is in a precarious spot. Where do you run? The entirety of site is gained by G2. B main control is still theirs. Peeking out wide though, Texture's not scoped up for it. He's slipping away from Gen.G. They've got to try and answer back here. Trent is lucky. Doesn't go down to that one, and Gen.G at the ones, falling, crumbling. Ash in a 1v2. The time ticking. Entrenched positions here from the G2 players. Snake bite Ash, sticking, half. Earns himself a possibility, but against two players it would have to be ridiculous. Tough, not being forced out. G2 far too collected.
What a round, what composure there from G2. Original game plan of going over towards A with the lockdown stifled, but Jonah P's lurk position up Tube allowed them that mid-round possibility. Gave an option for Valin to move the chess pieces around and checkmate Gen.G's defensive setup. Karen and Texture were in a tricky position down there towards yellow, but they couldn't make anything happen. Trent's kill on Texture was massive. And despite having 21 kills right now across 20 rounds, Texture has slowed down a bit with the impact. He hasn't quite been able to find those opportunities with his operator. And G2, 5 in a row. Something at this tournament is causing Gen.G to not be able to close out maps cleanly. And it could kill him.
Second timeout for Gen.G, the last one left here. They might be ahead for now, but they have been losing grip of the series. G2 is not a team you want to allow in. Give them an inch and they will take a mile. G2 are hunting for their own chance of redemption. Chance to continue their story in this tournament. A chance to even make it to the finals, to right the wrongs of Bangkok. And they're hungry for it. You can tell. The energy has flipped.
Gen.G had all the belief. 11-4 up. They felt like they were immortal. It was their destiny. And now, I think you're absolutely correct, Brent. The hope is starting to kindle in the hearts of G2. In fact, it's already there. I mean, you can see how they're playing.
Yeah.
Gen.G forced down onto another eco. One of the first times, actually, that we're seeing G2's economy properly starting to get out of control.
Jonah P's got a lot to watch here.
Yeah, there's a big pinch.
Play forward, he just hears the jump, and that just left him correcting for the wrong angle. Caron puts him down, puts him to bed. Jonah P no longer that threat onto the lurks. Deep push out through mid. He's holding the line for now. There's a plan down with nothing to push this back. Jorgamo getting a wall involved. Double face, double swing. Leaf still wants to square up, potentially to deal with these players because it is a heavy investment. Bodies arriving.
He's got Trent as well for support.
Gen.G just trying to do the best here. Check Texture, might just get chopped down into the knees. And meanwhile, this fight taking place. Yes, chopped down indeed. Cut down before he can make a stand and an attempt of this one. Ash, he's forward now, rifle in hand. And G2 make the call. No hesitation, trying to flip this one around. Paranoia still catches. They're trying to take out Foxy9 before he can get going. Trading up towards the top. Valin, lights out with the calling. With the plays, G2 are up to 10.
Some mightily impressive mid-round calling there from G2. After losing Jonah P early, you've always got the opportunity to go back and try to clear that flank, but instead, calling for the fast pivot in, realizing that Gen.G were playing retake on A, they've got a free plan and flip the map, force the fight into Foxy9. Look at the ult situation. And this is why that round, I think it was 18, was so important. because Gen G had their chance to go up to 12 and they squandered it. Now G2, with all of the advantages, looking to equalize.
They're moving forward. It's a slow, relentless march over towards the A side, and a kill. Collected for VALORANT once more. Added up. Total it overall. It's full side control now for G2. Slight gap, potentially over. But a pit now is going to be removing all of those sight lines. How do Gen G play into this? They're backing away.
No way.
They're backing away. They're saving.
Giving up already?
They're giving up the round.
That's unbelievable.
G2.
A freebie.
It's a freebie, and on the precipice. And barely an ult committed to bring them level.
It feels similar in a mirrored way to what we saw at the end of Haven. I think the score even there was like 10-10, 11-11, something like that. Where Leaf, he won a 1v1. And then G2 decided to eco.
Gen G need these guns. You're so right. If there's any chance for Gen G, though, listen. Man towards the side. Stray shots, peeking out. Leaf, he's found it.
Denied a weapon, and Foxy90 only had 50 credits to his name. That's a timid call from Gen G, but who knows, with the benefit of hindsight at the end of this map, at the end of this match, maybe it's the right one. 7 rounds in a row.
7.
After an 11-4 lead to tie the game back up.
Blessed with an absolute banger of a map and a series overall. G2 are ready to run away with it. It's up to Gen G to stop them now.
Looking for a tag early so that Trent can lead with a Hunter's Fury here. Try to find a pick. Not given anything though for Gen G.
It was tucked tight to Gen. Repositions, moves around. Shocks forward here, the drone needs to be taken care of.
And Texture hasn't had a big round in a while.
Crouched up, off angle. Hoping to take out a belt player. Wherever else he may be aiming. This is 5 players of G2 grouped up.
The thing is though, if Tex just swings and takes a risk here and goes 1-for-1, Jorg's just going to get the res. So you kind of disincentivized to play aggressively here as the Jet on defense.
Placing swarm grenade.
And that swarm was intended for a turret. That's in a different spot entirely.
And it really makes it feel like G2 are making a call to go back in towards B. This is going to keep 3 players solidified, cemented on B, leaving Texture alone.
Texture is alone. One of our players in the MVP running, he's lit up like a bloody Christmas tree, and he has to try and back the hell out. Counter spam, trying to follow the tracers, but he's forced to give this one up. Down on the other side of things, not dealt with in time. Jorgemon forced to just back away. There's 27 seconds left. Gen G, they got players in. Trying to play this one a bit fast and loose. The wall up through onto one of the angles. Asus dropped down. Will there be kills? Will be collected? Will there be kills? But they claimed! VALORANT with the movement and the Hunter's Fury. Pushes them back to the brink. Gen G are desperate now. They group up to last hurrah to try and get themselves to 12 to prevent G2 from getting to 12, but they give it up.
It's a save again! They're accepting the fact, and G2 immediately on the hunt! No remorse! Looking to try to deny the guns, deny the weaponry, Leaf, knife out, running them down. The hunt is on.
And they can feel it. Throw caution to the wind, claim the kills, claim their lives. You will take nothing further into the next. Munchkin trying to stay alive, but to no avail. G2 are up to series point.
How have we got to this position? We were talking all throughout Haven and Icebox of grit and tenacity from Gen G to get back into this game, to get up to the lead. They should have been able to close this out. It was 11-4, and it's writ all over Texture's face. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he can't find his footing in this game anymore.
Round 24, potentially the most important round in these players' careers for this year, for this match, for this event.
A bit more aggression here from Gen G at the start of the round. They're not afraid, at least, to put their bodies on the line and go down, break that turret. But it is Munchkin alone, still defending B as other players rotate away from him. Entirely the wrong read.
Munchkin, he's alone doing this. He hears the U-turn and Paranoia. It's a good connection inside the smoke, though, dominating the angle. Shot to fire it, wrapping around him, though. He's caught that timing, and it's a bullet to the back of the dome. Leaf, instant correction, traded out, and the wall is still up for the safe plan. Ults are online. Genjita playing for overtime. G2 playing to close this out. Locked down. To Hunter's Fury committed. An ult for an ult. Waiting patiently. Util to come back online. Smokes are blooming, blossoming. Fuel is up. Players are set in their position. A dash forwards. But Texture's gone. G2. Evan a hero. Evan a miracle team. They're looking to put the fear of God into everyone out in defense.